Hi, folks. Andrew here, Top Fitness Strategies. Yes, I am the face who runs the place, and we're here with a great interview going on today. Hey, if you're here for the first time, you know what to do. Whatever platform you're watching and or listening to this on, go ahead, subscribe, hit the stuff. You know what to do with that one. And also, we are being sponsored today by one of the products that I have, one of the books I wrote, the 102 At-Home Common Sense Health and Fitness Tips. It's an ebook that I wrote. Check it out. It's fun. It's not me showing you how to do exercises all day long. No. It's all about the household stuff to get you more aware of your health and your fitness going on. So check it out. You'll understand all about it. Okay? Fantastic. The main event today, we have a great interview here. Amanda Olejarz, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and she'll correct me if I'm not, is a holistic coach and an empowerment coach. Okay. Tell you what, let me start that all over again. Amanda Olejarz is an empowerment coach at Amandala.com, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Amanda helps you to connect the dots between a holistic coach. I am just screwing this up. Amanda helps you connect the dots between holistic and health. All right, you know what? Let me just bring her on right now. All right, Amanda, here you go.
Yeah. Hello.
Please don't think ill of me, because my followers, my listeners right now are just shaking their heads like, yeah, this is typical Andrew stuff. So,
well, you said my name right, so that's good.
That's the good part of it. Now I'm just screwing up everything else. So let me read the bio. Make sure I get this right. Okay. Amanda Olejarz is an empowerment coach at Amandala.Coach. Amandala helps you connect the dots between holistic health and spiritual wellness through compassionate guidance, personalized support, and evidence-based practices. Amanda aims to inspire clients to reconnect with their inner wisdom, embrace their authentic selves, and cultivate vibrant physical, mental, and spiritual health. Now, on top of all that, and you probably don't want people to know now, but you can say you're a guest on Top Fitness Strategies. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that intro. It's very memorable. It's all about stuff I do.
Memorable is the right word for it. Yes, I don't know if you want to thank me so much for it. So. Anyway, this is going to be cool because the people who follow me know that I'm for the fitness over 50 crowd and more of the physical fitness and health type things. You're more into the holistic and spiritual stuff, which yes, I am fascinated by, but I know nothing about it, which is another reason why I'm glad you're on here today. So before we get started into questions and everything else, tell us a little bit about yourself, how do you became where you are and things of that sort.
So my story is kind of fun because everything, I could not ever decide what it is I wanted to do in my life. That's how I became a massage therapist back in 2007. And I've been a licensed massage therapist in the state of Illinois since. And for some reason, I like to call them my older ladies, but they have just taken like a love for me. I'm a big hit at a couple of retirement homes on the South Side.
All right.
They're beautiful. My oldest client is actually going to be 97 on June 24th. So I'm really excited about that. However, like they have inspired me so much to up my holistic game. And then that brought me to up my spiritual game because I feel I have a really good massage technique. And I was still constantly wondering why these people are not getting better, why I was not getting better. So I've been able to try different things over the years, different modalities to help incorporate like wellness into everything. And I found a huge connection between body, mind, and spirit with holistic health and spiritual wellness. So I started kind of experimenting with them over the last 13 years. And to see them actually get better and to have them, my biggest thing is they were like so focused on going outside to do stuff, like going outside to work out. I'm like, you just need to move. You could do that inside, like put on a good song and dance. I'm super lazy. So I'm about like, I hate saying kill two birds with one stone. So I say two birds get stoned because I feel like that's a little higher vibration. But all those twofers I super enjoy. And honestly, like I couldn't figure out what my actual title was because I do a lot of talk therapy, but I do a lot of hands-on stuff. So I just combined it. Like I honestly just educate people. And then help them understand the difference between complying and adhering so they want to make those choices. And that's all about empowerment. So that's how I came up with Empowerment Coach and what I do today.
Fantastic. Now you hit on several things. I'm here typing some stuff in as we go, so make sure I hit on this. You mentioned a term I've never heard before just now.
Okay.
Talk therapy. Unless I totally misunderstood what you said there. What is talk therapy?
Talk therapy is literally me just being a soundboard, listening, because I feel like a lot of times, especially when people have been on my massage table over the last like 15 years, people just want to be heard. And getting stuff out is so good. There's 4 questions in shamanism. And the last, or one of them is, when was the last time you embellished in a story? And that could be a story somebody else tells or a story that you tell. And the stories that we tell ourselves are usually what we perceive as truth. And if you tell yourself the same story over and over again, it gets locked in your subconscious. However, then it goes into your body, because our bodies react to every single thought we have, whether they're true or false. So that in turn stays in your soft tissues, causing all sorts of pain and illness, sometimes even disease. And, then it's my job as a massage therapist to get it out, right? Mm-hmm. However, if you're still stuck in that pattern in your head, it's going to still present in your body. So I found just by talking, by listening to people's stories, by having them say it and kind of rewrite it, you can get out physical pain from the body. So I don't even have to lay my hands on you. We can just do this by talking. It's beautiful.
Interesting. I've never heard it that way before. Right away, I started thinking, I used to be a bartender, so I had a lot of talk therapy going on. Probably not in the same realm that you're speaking here, but because a lot of my patients at the time were pretty on the intoxicated side, so they were just going to talk whether you listened or not. So it's a whole different aspect of things there.
No, and that's exactly it, because I feel like I used to be a regular at the bar, so thank you for being my ear when I needed it. I didn't actually want to go to therapy.
Well, there you go. All right. So we could talk bar and talking all night long. We can talking. Yeah. I want to get to some other things. All right. Now, you are an empowerment coach, and you say you deal with holistic health.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't know what that is, which I'm going to assume are, I don't want to say a lot of folks, but I'm sure you get this question. What exactly is holistic health?
So holistic health is pretty much doing a lot of things, if not everything, completely natural or organic. One of the biggest things that I preach and practice is eating to live. Because at the end of the day, I personally feel like you can't outrun a bad diet. Like
Absolutely.
Your diet's going to catch up to you. Yeah, your body regenerates. So it's all about what it is that we're consuming. Are we nourishing ourselves or are we depleting ourselves? So eating to live has a really big, profound impact. And then the power of the mind too. Like whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. So this is Squirt. She's very needy. Yeah. So getting into that right state of mind, because a lot of times we say things like, oh, I have to do this. For instance, like I have to eat a salad or I have to eat healthy. And the holistic way is more like, I get to do this. I get to eat healthy. I get to have this apple. I get to have this salad. It's changing like the vibration of the thought, changing the vibration of you, changing the vibration of food and nourishment. So it's for your best and highest good.
Interesting. So as you're saying all this, and let me back up a second here, because I didn't tell you this because we didn't really have a chance to talk to you beforehand. But when we are on the same, and this is for everybody listening and watching, we are on the same Facebook group, and we basically, people say, yeah, I would like to be a guest on your podcast, or looking for guests on podcasts, one of those kind of things. I have a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in several years, but we will email and talk every so often. And just out of the blue, one evening last week or a couple of weeks ago, I sent her a text to say, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She starts she's changed her whole way of her whole lifestyle and started being a vegan. I'm like, "Oh,
Mhm.
interesting." And I swear to God, not 10 minutes later, I get a message from you and saying, "Hey, I read your thing. I'd like to be on your podcast." And I started reading it, like, holy moly, what a connection going on here. So I said, there's something about this stuff. And I bring that up because you mentioned you eat to live and regeneration and for your body and everything else. And that's what my friend brought up as well. I said she started eating differently and she started eating to live. And
Mhm.
a lot of stuff that she eats is pure vegan, which is a whole different
Ballgame.
mindset to what I'm used to, at least. Because I still don't quite understand the difference between vegan and vegetarian. And
Cool.
is that something that you talk about? I mean, I don't want to assume you're a vegan, a vegetarian, a meat eater person. I don't want to
Mhm.
assume anything here. So if you're willing to talk or at liberty to talk or want to talk about that, I'd be more than happy to. If not, we can just disregard that whole topic altogether.
No, absolutely, because yeah, I've been vegetarian since I was about 7 years old. It was one of the things that me and my parents used to fight most about. And they would force me to eat meat like no tomorrow. And I never liked the taste or the texture. They used to lie to me about it being, animal. So when I finally got smart enough putting everything together and they just couldn't lie to me anymore, I found out like chicken was chicken and steak was cow. My heart just sank and dropped. My dad told me that the fish that I was eating was flounder from The Little Mermaid. And I was like, I'm eating my best friend. So I got emotionally scarred too. But yeah, I feel like I was vegetarian for about 32 years and then I became vegan. And honestly, with everything that I did, I lived in chronic pain for about 15 of those years with lordosis, degenerative disc. I had high blood pressure. I was diagnosed with exhaustion. My life was just not together. I was also working out a whole bunch too. I was training MMA and competing jujitsu. So I
Wow.
was very active. However, I was still just like, no. So I got myself to a point that was really, really good. I was feeling amazing. I was out of pain, but then I upped my nutrition game and went vegan, but I went raw vegan. So raw vegan pretty much means that you only eat stuff that hasn't been cooked. And what that does is each food has an enzyme and it gets denatured or mutated or killed off as the cooking process goes. So the enzyme is also called the vital force or the life force of the cell. And that's something that we need in our bodies, right? Who doesn't want more life? When
Mhm.
you cook it off and it's no longer there, you're literally eating like dead stuff. So it's not exactly nourishing you, regenerating you, or replenishing you at all. So when I switched over to mostly, carbs, cheese, and that was like my favorite pizza, pasta, the whole kit and caboodle. I could down it like no tomorrow. But when I switched over to the raw vegan and just started eating everything that was alive, like mostly fruits and vegetables, I'd be sitting there having like 4 avocados for lunch. Like, yeah, this is delicious. Be fine for a little bit. I was eating often, but within 3 days, I felt like I had so much energy. I felt like I had a new body. And I'm like, what the heck is the difference here? And it
Mhm.
was literally the switch between putting real live enzymes, real live food in my body and putting cooked and processed and like heated in some way food. That was the big difference. And I still feel like sometimes there are occasions where I go out and I eat cooked food and my digestion is just like, it's that full feeling that I get. It's actually indigestion. I'm like, oh, why did I do this? It tasted so good. Don't get me wrong. The chefs out there are amazing, which is why I still do it and have like my cheats. But yeah, my body just thrives so good on like the fresh stuff, the stuff that's alive. And I feel like that's a big component about eating to live. It's like, all right, there's a
Yes.
donut here and there's an apple here, right? Which one do you want? And I'm like, yeah, let's get the donut. But that's
Yeah.
the
Now
addict
we're
in me,
talking.
right? Haha, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I've done that. All right. You're addicted to sugar, Amanda. How much do you want this? I'm like, well, I could eat both, right? Of course. Now the negotiation starts. But it's like, all right, one of these is going to put me on the couch feeling like misery, and the other one's going to make me want to get up and like do stuff and be productive, and I don't know, maybe do my dishes or play with my girls. Which one do I really want? There's sometimes where I'm looking for an excuse to go on the couch and go in my little hole, so I'm going to grab the donut. There's other times where I'm like, yeah, no, I know I need to do stuff. Like, I've only got so many years left on this planet. I've got so many things I got to do. It's Apple time. But it's really all just a choice.
Absolutely. It's what it boils down to. I mean, I tell people all the time, it's your choice. So, all right. So I don't even know how to intertwine this question with what we've been discussing here. So holistic health, does somebody have to be a strict vegan or vegetarian to embrace the holistic health life? If I say lifestyle, is that proper terminology?
Absolutely. Because apparently I just joined on with Chicago vegetarian, vegan, and raw foodist community, because apparently there's those out there. Vegan people, from my understanding with them, is they're doing it more for animal rights. Like, we don't want to hurt the animals. We don't want anybody to suffer because they're souls. So that's what like vegan lifestyle or veganism is.
Mm-hmm.
And then plant-based is all about people that do it for their health. So I'm plant-based because I want to lower my cholesterol, or I want to keep a healthy weight, something like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you can be in the holistic health field and eat.
Yeah. No, nutrition is just one aspect of it. There's so many other things. However, I feel like the nutrition component is the fastest way to get anywhere, because your body's just going to follow. And part of my studies, I'm a brain health coach, because that's a thing too, apparently.
You're a what? I didn't
A
hear that.
brain health coach. So
Brain health coach. Okay.
yeah, we go over the different things that can go help make the brain imbalanced, and how to correct those blood flow patterns to the brain. And in every single way, there's a way to eat your way to a healthy brain. So legit, if you want to be at your healthiest, at your finest, at your peakest, nutrition is the way to go to get you. It's like the fast start. You don't have to start there. You could start wherever you want. However, there's only a couple of things that we do every day, right? Eat, sleep, and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So if you switch up one of those, it's like, all right, well, I do this every day. There's no way that I can't, because this is biologically a necessity. There's no way I'm not going to get better. But getting better is also scary, because who are you without your pain, or what's holding you back too?
Interesting. My gosh. So, all right. So, oh my, there's so many different threads that we've opened up here. I like to go down. I'm sticking with your empowerment coach, a business, and my words here, your empowerment coach philosophy. And I don't know if it's a philosophy or what. And once again, I'm not because I just don't know all the proper terminology here. You also mentioned you help people, or you coach people with their spiritual wellness.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Because right now you're thinking, people are saying, "Woo, she's was wacko. She's on planet Pluto out there." When you say spiritual, and I'm not saying that, because I've interviewed enough people to know that's not what it is. But you talk to somebody who doesn't understand this at all. You say you're a spiritual coach, spiritual wellness. Don't they look at you like you have a third eye in your forehead or something?
Well, absolutely. And it's the best compliment ever. However, I've also, because of my massage ways, I've always been a little out there. So if I don't get that kind of reaction, that's weird to me.
Okay.
So spiritual wellness in a nutshell, I really call emotional intelligence, because that's really what spiritual wellness is to me. It's about evolving and learning our lessons. It's about being like the best adult we can. Because a lot of times, I don't know about you, I used to get a lot of temper tantrums, right? Like, just throw my arms up in a fit of rage, be like, what? I wasn't acting the physical age I was at. I was acting the mental age of when I was first hurt. And that's kind of a spiritual concept because it's like, oh man, well, oh crap, I'm acting like a 4-year-old. How do I change this? Like, what do I have to do? And yeah, that's not exactly something that we're taught in school. However, that kind of pattern can keep us stuck in like a plateau. So we want to evolve to the next level. So it's like, all right, how do we act like a 12-year-old today instead of a 4-year-old? How do we upgrade to a teenager? And then, as I like to call it, because I was young and dumb, my idiot 20s. Like that's still an upgrade, but it's like recognizing those patterns. And then also, too, a big part of it is realizing what your actions do to the rest of the world, because everything that we do has a ripple effect. It's like the butterfly effect. I'm sure we've seen the movie or know the concept. It's usually something negative. So I switched it around once again. I call it the butterfly setup. Like when you know that you're doing the right things and it's going to be for the best and highest good, something positive impact for everybody, the ripple effects are only going to be better and greater. So it's kind of like you're making the world a better place too. But yeah, realizing that you have the power to either make or break somebody's day. And it's pretty much based on your attitude, whether you're acting like an adult or like a child. That has a lot to do. It's a give and take kind of thing. So that's where the spiritual wellness comes in. It's like a lot of emotional stuff, a lot of communal support.
Okay. So you also the term true wellness comes up in your webpage quite a bit. At least I read it a couple of times. Is there a difference between spiritual wellness and true wellness, or or are they intertwined?
They can be intertwined. Once again, I feel like everything is interconnected, but holistic health and spiritual wellness at the end of the day are two different entities. So one is more biological, physical, the other one is more emotional, mental. So when you combine them together, I feel like that's what I'm meaning by true wellness. You have the best of both worlds, the yin and the yang.
Okay. All right. Now we're talking about all this stuff. We talked about nutrition. We talked about the mind and the spiritual thing. Do any of these have anything to do, or I don't want to say anything to do? Does the physical aspect of working out, for instance, I'm a personal trainer. I do the physical. I do the gym stuff. You're a former MMA trainer person as well. You said. So does the holistic health and physical activity, do they intertwine at all?
Absolutely. Because just like we were talking about talk therapy, there's a lot of us that sometimes like words are really, really hard. It's like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear about this anymore. But you still have like all of that raw, that pent up. So sometimes we just walk around like this and we call it okay. But in reality, if we like moved around or danced or boxed or lifted weights or walked or anything, even sometimes like moving furniture, moving boxes, just that physical movement, it will help to reset not just our body structure, but it'll reset our brain waves too. So it'll naturally help to calm us down. And then you get all the endorphins that come with it. It's beautiful. Movement is really awesome.
And is there certain movements that you prefer, or when you work with the client that they do anything? For instance, a trainer like myself, all right, and I'm a body weight guy. Push ups, pull ups, any kind of ups type do you have? So is there any particular movement? Movement's not what I'm saying. Any particular kind of
movement flow? Yeah. So I like to have people
workout?
shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So literally just
okay.
shake. Like,
hey, look at that. Right.
We don't do enough of this, but like in shaking too, because of the vibration that you're making, you're literally shaking off your energy field too, which spiritual concept, yeah, like you're cleaning off your aura, you're cleaning off like your chakras, you're just helping everything move a little bit better. And especially throughout the body too, like it'll help circulation. And that's nothing more than movement. Stress can't stay when you're moving. So the best way to get unstressed in your body is to move. And I like shaking because, yeah, you could do it any which way. It helps you get a little more creative too. But if you're super logical, you could just like shake like this, see what happens. But legit, put on a song, shake for a little bit. It's all the exercise you need.
Okay. Now wait, you just said something that I've never heard before. Stress can't stay if you're moving. Is how did you phrase that? Say that again.
Yeah. So, like, stress can't stay in a flowing body.
Ah, I've
So,
never heard that before. It's interesting.
when you're truly in the moment of like dancing and you're doing it out of pure joy and not like, okay, like blah, 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 even like this kind of position, you're supposed to like relax your shoulders.
Mhm.
But when you're doing something, you're not thinking about it, you're just letting it flow. Like you're in the present, you're in the now, and stress can't live there. Stress only comes once we start thinking about something. Once we start thinking, oh my God, what do I look like? Oh my goodness, am I doing this right? What's the next step? Or people look, I don't know. It starts happening nice and slow. But when we're flowing and just moving, we turn that off, and then we turn off the stress in our body too.
That's interesting. I mean, I have often been said and quoted saying this: if you want to relieve stress, go work out. But I've never thought about stress can't stay if you're moving. It didn't. Now it makes sense. Oh my word, that's great. Hey,
See?
I'm good for the day now. What the heck? I tell you what, Amanda, I only asked for a half hour of your time, and believe it or not, we're almost there. I wanted you to tell people about your site, what you do, how to get in touch with you, the stuff that you offer. Tell everybody about everything that you can do, or where you are, or how they can get in touch with you, and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. I can be reached at www.amandala.coach, AMANDALA.COACH. You can reach me on Facebook and Instagram too. But pretty much what I do a lot of talk therapy and a lot of energy work. So apparently a lot of the stuff that I know is a little foreign concept to some people. So we do a little talk, we see what it is that you want to go through. And then I help to keep you on that track. We make sure that you're doing this, and we figure out the why too, because doing it by yourself is sometimes hard. Heck, I've been doing this a minute. I don't even want to do it by myself. I need a friend.
Oh, do you do
So,
everything online, or does it have to be one-on-one, physically one-on-one together, or how does this work?
no, I do most of everything one-on-one online. And then, like I said, I'm still a massage therapist in the state of Illinois. However, I do not take on any new clients until you graduate from my like life coaching. So then we could really get stuff out of the body. So that's a really good incentive too.
Wow. So you're an empowerment coach, you're a massage therapist, you're a holistic health coach. Oh my gosh. When do you have time for yourself?
When I sleep and when I'm hanging out with my Bengal babies.
Wait, you're what babies?
My Bengal babies. So I have two cats, but their names are Kitty and Cat with a K. So I call them my Bengal babies.
Is it
I know. I know.
okay? Yeah. You and I are so different in everything, but I would love to hang out with you for a day. You couldn't put up with me, but you'd kick me out so fast it's not even funny. I guarantee. One of those kind of things. So all right. So, and I guess I was saying your website wrong. So it's Amandala. Or you said it differently. Your
It's either Amandala or Amandala. Sometimes I switch them up. I don't know how to say it. My girlfriend gave me the name, and I'm like, oh, this is nifty. I'm going to roll with this. So I just rebranded in fall, and I'm like, yeah, however you want to say it, it's the right way.
okay. Amandala.Coach.
Yes.
You can find her over there. Excuse me. And also, if you guys are driving, listening to this, or what have you, you can always send something to me and I can forward it on to her. Not a problem there. And so you say you do everything one-on-one. Does that mean, to me, it means you're face to face with somebody, physically face to face.
Virtually, usually one-on-one. Yeah, because there's some people that do group sessions or like couples therapy. I mostly focus on one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. So, but can people do it over online like you and I are doing right now? Can this be done for you?
Yeah, I mostly do all my stuff these days online for
Okay.
sure.
All right. All right. I guess I
Yeah.
wasn't asking it right. Okay. So you do most of the stuff online, not like yeah. Okay. Online. This is so it's got to be so weird for you. Like, who is this goofball I'm talking to? I'm sure that most people you talk to are very professional like this. Then you get me and like, oh geez.
No, I love your energy. It's awesome. It's keeping the flow going. So
I
once again,
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
Appreciate that. I'm gonna go back to see if I have any last questions here. Um, well, one of the questions I have you answered to begin with is what age groups do you work with? But you said you have one of your clients is 97 years old, celebrating a birthday soon. So, and you're young yourself. So I'm going to assume you're you have the whole age range of the gamut going on.
Pretty much. I'm not super picky about age ranges. I'm super picky to make sure that we're the right fit. And if we become not the right fit, I just want to know that so that we can find the right fit. However, yeah, my personality is very unique. I'm not going to vibe with everybody. So that's got to be first and foremost. Age is just a number that I've found from my ladies. So yeah, it's all about if we're vibing.
Okay, all right. Um, I know her 30 minutes is up, but I got more questions here. I got to ask you this because you mentioned you worked with the ladies having a birthday. Just mentioned ladies again. Do you work with guys? I would assume you do. The question is, but how often do the macho guys that want to eat steak and potatoes all the time look at you and say, I can't work with her? So how often do you work with guys, or do you work with
I
guys?
do work with men, absolutely. The big thing with men, and I hate to say it, I'm just gonna say it, but there's a lot more women that make it to their age than guys. So there's a lot more ladies in the communities I go to, and the guys are kind of like, no, I'm gonna let my wife have it. It's okay.
Yeah,
So they're a little more giving.
up here, guy. We're not that bright. All right, don't give us credit for being that bright. I'll tell you what.
It gets
Especially
better
us,
with age.
especially us musclehead guys who used to be athletes back in high school and college. We can't think anybody else knows more about it than we do. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I deal with that too. Believe me. So, and when somebody books a call with you, what should they expect, or is there anything they need to bring to the call so they can be prepared? How does that work?
So I usually give a consult call beforehand so we could talk some stuff over. We'll usually come up with a couple bullet points. I do make you fill out a questionnaire. It is a little extensive. However, I do like to get to know somebody and not just going completely blind. I also just use my intuition based on how I feel, and that usually seems to be working out for me the best. I do have this pretty cool device. So I'll ask you to think about like a goal statement, and the device personalizes frequency to your DNA based on a picture. So I'll get a picture of you, we'll put in this goal statement, and then we'll legit have vibes frequent to you during our session so that everything helps to stick in your subconscious a little bit better, making it easier to manifest.
Wow. What? Oh my word! I'm scared right there. Holy, a goal statement, and you're gonna vibe with. Holy moly!
I hang around way too many spiritual people.
It would be fun, folks. Go check it out. Amandala.Coach. Go check her out. You'll have a ball with her. I promise you. And everything that she's saying is so true to your whole wellness and everything else. So I appreciate that. Amanda, is there any parting words you'd like to give to everybody before we leave?
Yeah, keep going because you never know who you're inspiring, even when you're only trying to survive.
That's brilliant. That is awesome. So thank you for being here again. Amandala.Coach. Check it out, folks. Go over there. Tell her I said hi. If you go over there and if you're listening to me or watching us right now, go over there. Let her know that this is where you got the information from, and she'd be more than happy to say that she knows me.
Hey!
I'm throwing that out there. Okay. So, well, maybe one day you and I will get to meet in person, and that would be great. I would love to do that. So appreciate
Absolutely.
you being here, and I would like to reserve the right to ask you back some other time because once again we had a lot of threads I wanted to get into, but I didn't have enough time to today. So if we can have you back in the future, that'd be great. So
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I'm super excited for the future now.
don't get done. No. Okay. All right. I'll stop it here on that note. So, folks, thanks for being here. This has been my new guest, Amanda Olejarz, and I'm Andrew, Top Fitness Strategies. I am the face who runs the place. So until next time, this is Amanda and Andrew. Ciao.